Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, your go-to destination for unraveling the mysteries of cutting-edge technologies on Google Cloud. I am Mustafa and today we are diving into an exciting journey of migrating to AlloyDB from PostgreSQL using PostgreSQL Tools. In this lab, we'll be migrating a standalone PostgreSQL database running on a virtual machine to AlloyDB for PostgreSQL. This process involves creating a DMP file using a pg underscore dump and importing it using the pg underscore restore. Here is a quick rundown of what we will be doing. We would ensure our source PostgreSQL instance data is ready for migration. Thereafter, we will generate a DMP file using the custom or directory format setting. And finally, we would load the data into our AlloyDB instance. So whether you are a beginner or a seasoned tech explorer, join us in this practical exploration of database migration on Google Cloud. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell as we tackle migrating PostgreSQL database to AlloyDB for PostgreSQL. Let's get started. As usual, we'll click on Start Our Lab, and we'll launch the lab with the required credits. After launching the lab with the required credits, we would open our lab in an incognito window. Then let me grab my password. Click on next here. Paste in our password. Click and understand. So it's launching our Google Cloud dashboard for us. And let's agree to the terms and condition here. Yeah, so this is our Google Cloud dashboard. This is our home page. So let's follow the instruction. The first thing is the setup and requirements. And for the setup and requirements, we'll just complete it as we usually do. So let's go to our Cloud Shell. Let's authorize our Cloud Shell and list the active projects for this lab. So I'm spinning up our Cloud Shell, and our Cloud Shell should connect to the Cloud Shell instance and provision our Cloud Shell machine. Yeah, so here we are. Let me increase the font size. Let's do large. So the first thing, let's authorize this, and just click on enter. Yeah, so this is our active account here, and let's list our active project with gcloud config list projects, and this is our active project ID for this lab, and that tallies with what is here. So I think we are good to go. So the next thing we want to do is, so let's see the data in our source instance, and let's see what we want to migrate. So as usual, some things have been pre-configured for us when we spin up this lab, and these are pretty much things that we are supposed to have known, or things that we've done in the previous series of this lab, which were AlloyDB database fundamental and migrating to AlloyDB from PostgreSQL using the database migration service. So some of the things we've done there, we are not going to do it again here. They've been provisioned for us when we spin up our lab, and we just have to jump in to these stacks directly. So there are some virtual machines that have been created for us, and we also have our database, the one we are migrating from. We have it on a virtual machine. So let's SSH into that. So let's go to our virtual machine. Under compute engine, we have virtual machine here. So this is the one that we have for clients. This is the AlloyDB client. This is the one we use to access our AlloyDB database when we eventually migrate the data. But this is where our current data is on. This is the PostgreSQL database. It's on a virtual machine that's named PG14 source. So let's SSH into that, and let's inspect the data that we want to migrate to our new destination. So it's transferring the necessary SSH keys So let me just authorize this. Yeah, so here we are on our virtual machine. So let's keep following the instruction. The next thing is just to launch our PSQL client, and we've mentioned that this is the client for accessing the PostgreSQL terminal. So click on this, and now we are in our Postgres. So let's list the tables that are in this our Postgres database. And after listing the tables, we have some tables here. So this database is more of like an HR database, and it contains the countries data, the countries table, the department table, employees table, the jobs table, location and region. So you can think of it like an HR data set. So let's see some of the informations in these tables. Let's just see the account. So you can see this is the count in the source database. And when we migrate to the destination, we would now confirm if we still have the same amount of information. So that's regarding that. And these are the things that are there. So we can decide to exit our source database for now. So let's keep following the instruction. So the next thing we want to do is create a database DMP file using the PG dump. So the PG dump tool that's been installed for us by default with every PostgreSQL installation. And in our source terminal, which is our source database that we are currently in the SSH version, so we would create a DMP file of the Postgres database containing the table that we examined earlier. Then we would now run the following command at the Cloud Shell. So this is the command that we are using, and what this command is typically doing. So the first part, the sudo -u, that's the command that is allowing us run the following command as a Postgres user. So the Postgres user typically has the necessary permissions to access and backup file. So going to the pg dump. So the pg dump is just the utility tool that is used for backing up our database. And this -fc flag that we are passing, so it tells the pg dump that it should use the custom archive format, and this format is typically just compressed and generally preferred for backup. And it's also telling the pg dump to also create a single archive file containing the entire database. So that's the function of the flag, the -fc there. And then we now have the Postgres. So this specifies the database name that we want to back up. So the database that we are backing up in this SSH terminal that we are entering into is the Postgres database. And then we now have the command to just redirect the output of this into this. So all the output of this command, the backup of this file, is going to be saved into pg14 underscore source.dmp file. So that's typically what we are doing. We are trying to create a DMP file of our existing database. So let's go to our command. Let's paste this in here. Then let's run it. So it has done that. So the next thing we want to do is let's list the paths and the size and other details of the DMP file that we just created. So we can run this command here. And this is the path and this is the size. So it's like 13 kilobytes. This is the current time here also. You can confirm it here. This is current time. So I'm in UTC +1. That's why it's 1 hour ahead. Yeah, so that's regarding that. Yeah, so the next thing we want to do is we are going to copy this file to a cloud storage bucket that has been created for us. So we'll just upload the file to the cloud storage bucket. So with this command, and typically what this command does is just that it copies what we created into a new path. So if you look at the GSP command, is the command that it's typically used for the cloud storage when you're interacting with the cloud storage bucket on Google Cloud. And this CP command is to copy. So what are we copying? We are copying the pg14 underscore source.dmp file that we just downloaded, that we just created, which is the dump that we created from our SSH terminal, and we are now uploading it into this path. So this we have a cloud storage bucket that it's named our project ID. So this our active account it's a cloud storage bucket that has been created for us. So typically cloud storage bucket have to be unique. So and that's why this lab decided to use this name, because the names of each Qwiklabs account are always unique. And also this is the name of the file here. So this is the one we are copying. We wanted to copy it into this file path. So it's going to copy it into pg14 source this path. So and that's regarding that. So let's try on enter, and it's going to copy it for us. So you can see it has copied the file, and we now have the file in our destination. So we can take a look at the file in our destination. Let me just duplicate this tab, and let's go view the file that we just copied to our cloud storage bucket. So let's access cloud storage here. So we have our cloud storage here. Click on cloud storage. And this is the bucket. You can see this is the name. So when you click on it, this is the file that we just created, this pgsource.dmp, and you can access it here. So that's regarding that. So let's go back to this, and let's keep following our instruction. So let's verify if we've completed the required progress here. Yeah, so our task is complete and our progress is also acknowledged. So for task 3, we want to import the DMP file that we just uploaded. Would import it using the pg restore command. And before that, we have to first go to our destination database and go and grab our private IP on our destination database, so that we can use that private IP to access our destination database from the client computer that we are using. So the client's computer here, it's another virtual machine instance that has been created for us. So let's go to our AlloyDB. So we don't need this. We can access our AlloyDB from here. AlloyDB is under View All Products. So we have databases. Under databases, we have AlloyDB. Let's click into AlloyDB. So here is our AlloyDB instance that we are going to be using, and this is the private IP. So when you are copying this, please make sure you don't copy the port number. Just copy only the IP address. So the IP address that we need here is just 1050.0 then 0.2. Don't copy everything after this after this column. So that's regarding that. So I'm just going to leave this part open and continue. So let's go to the instruction. So the next thing is to SSH into our client computer, in this case, which is our virtual machine that has been created for us. And I'm going to grab this command along with me. So this is our client's computer. This is the virtual machine that we are using as representing our client trying to access our destination database. So let's access our destination database from here. So I'm going to authorize this. And here we are. So the first thing is to export the IP address into an environmental variable called AlloyDB, so that we can just use it anytime we want. And then we have to edit this part to match our IP address for this lab. So the IP address of our destination instance is this, like we mentioned before. So let's grab it again. Make sure you don't copy the port number. Let's go to our SSH, paste it here, then click on enter. So it has exported this into this. So the next command is to now echo this particular variable into this text. So what this pipe command means, like I explained before, is it is redirecting the output of this inside this particular stuff. So when we run this echo db, let me run it alone. So you will see that we'll get our IP address, the one we saved into it. So let's run this full command. So what we are going to do now is that the output of this one is going to be passed into this text file, so that we can use it anywhere in our virtual machine for this lab. So the next thing is to launch our database. Let's access into our database that has been created for us. So, and when this AlloyDB was created, when this AlloyDB database was created, it was created with the name with the username Postgres, and a password of change 3me was used. So we've done all these steps before in this AlloyDB fundamentals part, and that's why we are not repeating the same thing here. So let's keep working. Let's access our Postgres. So, and the password, let's grab our password. This is the password that we are using. So paste the password here, click on enter, and now we are inside our PostgreSQL, our AlloyDB for PostgreSQL database. So the next thing we want to do is let's list the name of the tables there, if there are at all any tables. So you can see there's currently no table on this database and it's empty. So now let's migrate. Let's restore what we created the dump file for. So we created a dump file for something when we were on our source database, which is this. So now we are going to restore that into our destination, more of like migrating to this destination. So let's keep following the instruction. So we can exit from the PSQL part, and now we would go back to that the file that we copied. So the command that we are using here, the interpretation of this command now is that we did the opposite of it previously. We uploaded this file to our cloud storage bucket, but now we are downloading this file from our cloud storage bucket into our virtual machine now. So you can see this similar command, but what the difference is that this part that came last is now coming first, and the destination now is now the one coming last. So we are going to copy from this part and save it into, and we are saving it into this virtual machine, but it's going to take this name, pg14 source underscore dmp. So let's run it, and it's going to get completed. So you can see it has downloaded this for us into this particular virtual machine, and the name of it is just this title here. So that's regarding that. So the next thing, which is really where the work is, so the next command that we are going to run, it's a command to comment out all the extension parts in this particular file. And why we are doing that is just because we just want to copy the data as it is. We don't want it to also create any other extension that maybe were peculiar to having it on PostgreSQL on the virtual machine. We don't want it to come with us to the AlloyDB, to the Postgres version on AlloyDB. We just want the data as it is, no other extension coming with it. So this command that we are using here is just pretty much a command that we are using to comment to add a semicolon. And what a semicolon does in SQL is like it terminates a single statement in SQL. So when you write a single statement and you add the semicolon, you are telling the SQL editor that you've completed that particular single line statement. So we are going to be adding a semicolon before any line that contains this keyword extension, so that it's not going to run the line of the extension part. It's just going to run the one preceding it, and maybe the one also after it, but not the line containing this extension file. So a breakdown of this command. So we are in a pg restore, and the pg restore is a Postgres utility for restoring data from backups created by pg dumps. We use pg dumps to create the backup, and now we are using the pg restore to restore our backups. And the L flag is just to tell the pg restore the list of contents of the backup that we created. And so, and also this file, the pg14 underscore source.dmp, is the file name of our PostgreSQL backup. So this pipe command is just to redirect the output of this previous command to the input of the next command, more of like you're concatenating. So the SCD is more of like a stream editor that we use it here to make changes to the text data. So we want to make changes, like I mentioned, like I explained before. So we want to add a semicolon before any line that contains the line that contains the word extension. And why we are adding a semicolon is that it can take the preceding statement before those extension as a complete statement and run them. So that's the reason why we are using. And after that, so this is just using some expressions, some extended regular expressions, to get the matching of this part extension. And after that, we will now save the output of it into this particular file. So the pg14 underscore source underscore toc.toc. So we are receiving the output of this inside this particular file. So let's just copy this command and get to work. So strike on enter. So it has done that. So this is the next command, and what this command typically means is that we are trying to restore a PostgreSQL database from our backup file using this modified file that we've gotten before. So this modified file, the pg14 underscore source underscore toc.toc that we created previously. So we are trying to restore it. We are also using the pg restore, which I mentioned, that's a utility for restoring database from our backup file that was created by the pg dump. So we are passing the hostname flag. So, and this is the host name. So the host name which should contain the IP address. So this is the environmental variable that we passed our IP address to previously. And this flag is telling us the username, and the username we are using here is Postgres. So, and also this is the database that we want the backup to be created. So this Postgres, this is the name of this database, and the file that we want to. So this the /l, it just typically tells us that it should use this provided file, this pg14 underscore source underscore toc, as the table of contents for the restoration. So this file, it contains the instructions of the backup that we want to restore and the possible customization that we want to do. So like I mentioned before, that commenting out all the lines that has this extension part in there. So this is more content, like the instruction of what we want to do, and after that it should and the other part is just the backup source. So the pg14 underscore source is the backup source of what we want to do. So let's just grab this command and go back here. So copy the command there and paste the command rather. So we have to input our password, and like I mentioned before, the password that was used when we were creating this was this. So this was pre-configured for us before. So if you would follow the previous lab, it would be very much clearer, and you would know how to also create all the pre-configured resources that has been done for us in this lab. So that's regarding that. So we've restored the command to load all the tables in this in our dump file. That's in our backup file. We've now restored everything. So the next thing is to also let's go into our PostgreSQL client again. So we'd also be prompted to put our password. So here we have, just grab your password here, paste it here, and now we are on our PostgreSQL terminal. So let's attempt to list the tables here. So /dt, and now you can see that we have tables. You know, previously when we attempted to list the tables here, we got a response that did not find any relation. But after we've done the migration, now we have tables in our database. So the next thing is we would also just confirm if the tables are similar with the previous one, with the one in the source. So let's run something like this, and you can see that this information here on our destination, which is our AlloyDB client, tallies with what we have on the source, which is our pg14 underscore. So let's do a spot check on this, and I'm just going to view some of the data in what we have before in the tables that we have. So this, I'm on the source at the moment. So after checking from the source, then I'll confirm it from the destination. So let's say select star from department. So make sure you are using the table name as it is, and you are typing everything very well. So let's run this. Okay, yeah, so it's not connecting because we've exited our PSQL terminal. So what we are supposed to do is go back to our PSQL client using this command. So let's use this command first. So I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to grab this command and paste it here. So now we are back in our Postgres. So there was no password here, so we don't need to specify password. So we can run this previous command once again. Let's copy it here. Then we have it here. So let's see. And you can see we have 27 rows here, and these are the data that it contains. So let's go back to our destination and run similar command. We are still in our PSQL client here, so we can just run the command directly. And you can also see we have 27 rows, and these are the same data that the same pieces of information that was in our source database. So we've successfully migrated from our source database, which is a PostgreSQL on a virtual machine, to a PostgreSQL database on AlloyDB. So that's regarding that, and I think that's pretty much everything for this lab. Let's check our progress, and our progress is complete, and we have the full mark. So congratulations, we've successfully migrated a standalone PostgreSQL database running on a virtual machine to AlloyDB for PostgreSQL using native PostgreSQL tools. And that's pretty much all we want to do. So thank you very much for staying through the end of this lab. If you really enjoyed this lab, make sure you like it. Comment your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this lab. Let me know some other things you want me to work on. And as much as possible, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can stay updated about upcoming videos in this playlist and in upcoming playlist. Bye for now. See you in the next lab.